Hey y'all, welcome to this video. Today we're going to be talking about new student orientation, at least how it was this year in 2025. I went in the beginning of June. I can't remember the dates. I think it was like the 5th and the 6th. So it was session 3. I did not record a lot there or take barely any pictures, which is terrible. But I have like my folder and I have the schedule in here, and I kind of just want to talk through what to expect if you are going either this year or if you're going next year, kind of what you can expect. So I have the schedule here, and I'm just going to walk through exactly what happens and like what you can expect during each time. So at 8 a.m. to 9:30, that's when you check into the residence hall. So the first thing you do is you drive to the parking garage. I drove myself, so I just parked in there. It was free. Then you get in line. So this is 8 a.m., but the line was already really long at 7:45 when I joined the line. So just plan that accordingly. And then your parents will not be with you during that time. If you do bring your parents, the way they group you up with who you're going to room by, where we were saying it was groups of 3, it was a triple occupancy room. So it was just whoever you were next to in line. It was kind of like form your own groups. I didn't come knowing anybody, but the 2 girls who were behind me, they were amazing. They were lovely. We just started talking, and then it was like, okay, hey, can I be in the group with y'all, or do y'all want to stay in a room together? And it's like, yes, of course. So I was really grateful that I met 2 really nice girls next to me. But yeah, just plan that if you're going with somebody to get in line with them, or kind of to already like form a group. So yeah, and then right after that, you get your keys to your residence hall, you go put all your stuff away, and they tell you you're not allowed to go back to the hall until 8 p.m. that night. So you need everything you need for the day, whatever that includes. Then straight from the residence hall, you go to the rec center, which is really close by, and you stand in this long line. There was lines like wrapped all the way around, but it went by fast. And what you do there is you check in, you get your folder, and you'll get your name tag. In the folder, it has I don't want to like show my information. On this side, it will have your task list, and on this side, this is where the schedule is. And then straight after you're done doing that, you will go to the LBJ Center. It's kind of a long walk, but I mean, you need to get used to it anyways. Even though it says 8 a.m. to 9:30 to do both those things, it will take you most of the time. I think we ended up getting to the LBJ Center around 9:20 by the time we got our seats. So it wasn't like we were waiting around for 30 minutes, an hour. Like, it will take you a while, so don't get there at 9:30 expecting to be on time, because you won't. So at 10 a.m. to 10:45 of day 1, you will be sitting in the LBJ Grand Ballroom on the 3rd floor, which is where most of the meetings and conferences and all that will be held, was in that big room. They are first just gonna talk to you about like what the day is gonna look like, what you can expect here, stuff like that. Then immediately after that, we went to student groups. So on your name card, it will say your group number. Ours is grouped by like residence hall. So mine had my residence hall and the residence hall that like we share the building with in our group. So it was nice because you got to meet people who you might be your neighbor, who might be living above you, a few doors down, whatever. You got to meet people around you, which I thought was really cool. There we just introduced each other, played a few icebreaker games, and it was really nice. It was really interesting to hear where people were from, hear the different majors people were planning on doing, all those different things. It was really, really exciting to me to get out of the bubble of like how Cypress is and to meet a lot of different kids. Straight from there, you will leave with your group and you will go to lunch. So we went to lunch at Commons Dining Hall, which is like in the quad, and it was really good. I had quesadillas and tater tots, I think, and then we had like soft serve, ice cream. It was really good. One thing I will say is that you will always be with your group during your time at NSO. So you're never gonna be like on your own. Well, on day 2 kind of, but for the most part you will be traveling from each place with your group. So don't expect like a bunch of like free time and you can just skip lunch and do this. Like, that's not how it is. And I think that's great because you are forced to meet people and talk to people around you. Right after that, at 1:15 to 2 p.m. you have the Bobcat Essentials, which is just, there will be different people coming on and off stage. This is also an LBJ. They'll be coming off stage, housing, dining services, ID services, technology, and they're just giving their like presentation about different resources on campus. And then at 2 p.m., straight after that, like literally there's like no time in between. Right after that, it's financial. So that's when like financial aid and like all the billing people will go up there and they'll give their presentation. So yeah, and then you have a little bit of a break. You have a 15-minute break that you can use the restroom, eat a snack, whatever you need. And then at 3 p.m., you are right back in LBJ and you will be doing the health and well-being, which is where they talk about like counselors, mentors, support, the like actual like student health center, that type of stuff. And then at 4 p.m., that's when we do student involvement, which is also in LBJ. So it's another meeting. And that's when they just like talk about the different clubs and organizations, traditions, stuff like that. At 4:45, that's when your parents will come back into the LBJ with you, and you will get to, they'll just talk about the day two, what day two will look like, because at that point, that's when your parents and you will say goodbye for the night and pretty much say goodbye till the morning. Well, obviously, I guess that makes sense. So, yeah. Immediately after that, you are going to go back to your groups, and I think we just talked a little bit. Maybe we played a few different games. It wasn't much time because we went straight to dinner at Harris, and I had like pasta there. Both of the dining halls that we ate at were like the buffet styles. So again, there's lots of different groups. You get to meet your friends, sit with your friends, eat with them, that type of thing. And that was really, I thought the food there was actually really good. All right, then at I guess at 7:15 we go back to the LBJ, and it will be all the groups in there. There will be like a few different like traditions. You will get to hear the fight song, the alma mater, all those things. And then from there, you are told your instructions for NSO After Dark. NSO After Dark is just like a few different like events or different places you can go around campus to kind of just have fun since you've been sitting in meetings all day. So the three options that we had, one was either go back to the residence hall and you can chill, go to sleep, watch a movie, and outside in like the courtyard they had a few like games, cornhole, the giant Connect 4. The second thing was you could go to the rec, and in the rec there was like rock climbing, volleyball, basketball. And then the third thing was George's in LBJ, which is what me and my friends went to. And there was like ping pong, karaoke, pool, and it was just a nice environment. Again, during this time, you are led by student leaders to each place, so you are not able to walk on your own or leave, whatever. Then at 10 p.m., that's when everyone is back in the residence hall. We decided to DoorDash Chick-fil-A. So we got to DoorDash. Okay, now I'm going to kind of share my experience about the residence hall, because we had kind of like a crazy experience for it, and so not what I was expecting. At least it wasn't terrible. I had really good roommates, but we were planning on watching a movie, right? So we were like, okay, we're gonna all shower real quickly and then we're gonna sit and watch a movie, because we had a curfew. I think it was either like 11 or 12, so we wanted to like watch the movie pretty soon. So the first person went to go take a shower, and we were going downstairs to get our food, and this girl is taking a shower. Well, then we get a call saying the shower is not draining. Can you like go get somebody? So we went and got like one of the student leaders. We brought her to the room. We showed her, the shower wasn't draining. Then she was like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to put in like a request for maintenance, but I don't think this is gonna get done tonight, so we're gonna have to move you to a different room. Mind you, there was a girls' wing and a boys' wing, right? We were obviously on the girls' wing. Now, when they got moved, we were sitting there at the desk, and she pulls out the males list, and I'm sitting there like, do we look like males? Maybe it was late, like, okay, whatever. Anyways, we got signed into the boys' hall, and I kid you not, as we were walking down, and we're like, already like, oh my god, we're in the boys' hall, right? Like, weird. We did not want to be there. We got into our new room or whatever, and within like maybe 2 minutes, there's already boys, prank knocking us. What do you call it? Ding dong ditching, I guess is what it's called, right? And there was like, it was a whole thing, and it was probably because we were the only girls on the room, and we were laughing, we were having a good time, so we were probably not being quiet. Yeah, I just thought that was so funny. So that was definitely an experience, having to move rooms and all these things. But I will say, for the most part, the rooms are pretty nice, and it will work for one night. I will say you need to bring your own toilet paper, bring your own hand soap, bring your own towels, bring your own sheets. They don't supply anything, so it's literally just like a room, and there's a mattress and a bed and a shower and a sink, but it doesn't have any other things that go with it. So definitely bring all your own things. Yeah, anyway, so we went to bed. I was the last one to sleep. I don't think I actually went to sleep till really late. It was probably like 1 a.m. by the time I fell asleep. But the next morning when they wake you up, it's exactly what you see in a movie when you think of like military, like boot camp thing, right? They came banging on the doors, screaming at us, and I just remember the girl who I was rooming with, she was sleeping in the bed next to me. I just remember her jumping out of bed. She goes, and she like ran to the door. She was like, we're up. That was the whole thing. Like, it was 6:30 in the morning, they're banging on your door, and you had a long day, because the day before it was like 14 hours, 15 hours of like non-stop stuff, right? Apparently the boys across the hall from us were not waking up, and I kid you not, they were banging on the door for like 5 minutes, and I was like, woo! Right? It was terrible. But anyways, during that time, you just pack up your stuff, you leave. I went and put my stuff back in the car, and then it was like, okay, I'll meet y'all in LBJ, because the other girls they had one of their parents were there, so they like drove us. We went down there. We went to LBJ. I think we got breakfast at like the convenience store. I think it's called like the Marketplace, because the Starbucks line was like really long. So it's like, okay, let us get some coffee in there. And then from there you just go to let's see, you just go back to the LBJ ballroom, and they just kind of talk about the day, and then you're sitting through more presentations. So this is like the only presentation, I guess, of the day, and it's academic experience. So they talk about like advising and I guess like the writing center, the math center, the tutoring center, all those type of things there. And then at 9:15 you go back to your student groups. This is the last time you're with them, and it was just kind of like a hangout time. We got to talk. I was sitting with different people during that time, and we got to talk. I thought it was really cool, and it was like some questions that I was asking that it's like I just never thought of before until I was here, so that was cool. And then from there you're kind of released, and you're on your own. There's different things that you need to do. At 10:15 was Boca's Browse, which is just where they have different departments, programs, mainly like from the different colleges, or if you needed to talk to this person, and they're just like tables in the set up, and you get to walk around, grab the pamphlet from each, whatever. At 10:15 as well, that's when the registration lab opened. So if you did not register for classes, you will do so during that time. I will say, do not wait till NSO if you don't have to. Like this year, I was able to go in April and register for my classes, and that made it so much easier, because by the time June, July comes around, classes are full. You're going to be stuck with 8 a.m.s or 5 p.m.s and Friday classes, which for me was really important that I didn't have any of those things. So do not wait till the last second if you don't have to. Then you had like educational sessions. Like I went to one for studying abroad. I think I went to one for Greek life, because I didn't know if I was interested or not, so I just went there, kill some time. And then at 12 p.m. this is when checkout starts. If you are done, you get to check out at the library, and you can leave after 12 if you are done. If not, you can stay. At 12 p.m. is also when the housing tours start, and every single housing residence hall was open except for Blanco, because that's the one we were staying in, and then Castro, because that's the one they were building. But all the other ones, like the one I'm staying in, was open. I'm staying in Chautauqua. I think I'm allowed to say that. If not, I will cut this out. But yes, after that, you're just kind of like on your own. I hung out with the girls I was with her a little bit, because I didn't really feel like rushing home. Yeah. So just some general things now that I went through like the itinerary of what NSO will look like. Be prepared for a long day. The day before night one, or day one, I guess, you need to get a lot of sleep, get rest. I stayed in a hotel, so I would not say that I was the most rested, but you like get some sleep, get energy, because day one is such a long day. It'll feel like 3 days in one. There's a lot of information, and it might seem like, oh my god, more presentations, but it was really beneficial. And coming out of it, I really enjoyed NSO. Another thing, I've mentioned it a few times, but don't expect it to just be like a free-for-all when you're there. It is very structural, and it's a good thing for most of the kids there. Yeah, parents are not going to be with you most of the time. I guess they can sit through a few of the sessions, but most of the time you're on your own. During lunches, the whole first day, you're pretty much on your own. The second day, I guess, is when your parents will be there with you. If, like registration lab though, like if you go there, your parent can't go in. They're just going to sit on the outside. Educational sessions, I mean, if they want to go, they can. If not, like, I don't really see like a benefit for your parent going unless they want to get the information as well. But I definitely don't think it's a necessity, especially if you're like somebody like myself who will like relay all the important information to my parents. So yeah, I would just say really enjoy your time there, and you only get it once, and it's freshman orientation camp. Yeah, anyways, the next thing we have is cat camp, which is coming up in July, and I'm super excited for that. And today marks 50 days until move-in, and I will definitely have to do like what I have for my dorm, like what I bought and everything. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you are new here, subscribe, because college is coming up, and I'm so excited to record more videos and to share my journey with you. And yes, I will see y'all next time. Anyways, bye. Thank you so much.